Okay, hi everyone. I had a chance, obviously, because of this Monday's little beta test for stress testing the servers, to do a kind of live video from, actual game footage while I talk, which is nice. It's kind of a change of pace, I suppose. Anyway, let's go into the game. As you can see, they got some nice artwork on here for the loading screens. I think some of the loading screens don't actually have artwork yet, or they just haven't put it in. I noticed in some of the quests they do that. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. Anyway, right now we're talking about the UI today and the skills, so I think I'll talk about the UI first, as most people will probably be interested in that, although it is minorly self-explanatory. So anyway, right, basically you got like, you got down here, you got your 1 to 5, or 1 to 0 I suppose, action bar, and that, you got all your skills in there. That's fine. Now those skills, 1 to 2, will change depending on... 1 to 3 will change depending on what weapon you've got, and that's if it's a one-handed weapon, and 4 to 5 will change depending on the offhand weapon you've got with said one-hand weapon. But if you've got a two-handed weapon, like I've got this staff here, as you can see, all of my skills come with the staff instead, which is kind of cool. So anyway, as well as that, you've got 6 to 0 here, and 6 is your healing. Basically every class has a heal, and 6 is where that is, and you do get a few options with this. As you can see, you unlock the other ones, in this case the other one. As you can see, I got another one, heal yourself and lose a condition with every pulse, so that'll be handy, and then there's one more, but currently I'm using this one. So yeah, you can place different ones of those, and your 7th is basically, you get an option, I'll show you. You get this option in skills and traits and slot skills. You've got, it's 7 to 9 here, as you can see. You've got a ton of options here with what you want to pick, and that's fantastic really, because, well, you want options, especially considering most people would see this as quite a closed way to do the UI, whereas like WoW, you can just like drag and drop anywhere you want anything in there. But this, I kind of like this more, because everything has its place and you don't really have to make a place for it yourself like you did on WoW or other MMOs. It just kind of has its place already, and you learned that, which is fine by me. But anyway, like we're saying, in 7, 8 and 9 you've got these choices of all of these. As you can see, I've got Arcane Blast because that was the cheapest here, and Signet of Fire when I'd normally been Fire Spec. I'll get onto that in a bit. So yeah, they're your utilities, as they call it, 7 to 9, and they're all pretty handy, and some of the later ones are awesome. Like, I saved up a little bit to get Summon a Worm to fight for you, and I found it was kind of useless, so I regret buying that, but whatever. It's a beta, it doesn't matter. And then your 0, finally, you've got your elite skill, which you get at level 30, and these, like, the utilities are just awesome. Like, for a Norn, you can turn into said animals of their, thing, like the wolf, the bear, the raven, and the snow leopard. You can do all that, or you can summon a flaming great sword and use that in battle, or you can turn into a tornado as well, I believe, as a elementalist, which is all awesome. I don't know how you unlock them. It says purchase, so I guess maybe you use the skill points to get those as well. I'm not sure, because obviously I haven't got to level 30. So anyway, yeah, that's the basic 1 to 0. So now we'll get on to these, and these change depending on what class you are. Because I'm an elementalist, of course I've got the 4 different attunements, which is fire, shock or air, earth, and I can't go into it because obviously there's a small cooldown, water. And as you'll notice, my skills from 1 to 5 change with whatever one I'm in. Now the only bad thing, the only slightly annoying thing is you can't, as an elementalist, swap out your weapon in combat, but you can swap between these, which is still handy. So you're going to be mainly sticking to one weapon, if you want, when it comes to Elementalist, but you are going to get the choice. Like, let's say, okay, the party's doing fine for health at the moment, we don't need a support / healer, you know, so let's go F1, let's do some more damage in fire, and trust me, fire just hurls damage like a bitch. So yeah, I think air attunement is, I guess it's effects to slowing effects, I suppose, I'm not really sure. Change your weapon skills and shock nearby foes with lightning, okay. And earth, I suppose, is damage as well. I'm not quite sure about earth and air because I haven't really used them. But anyway, you get the idea. With a warrior, this would be slightly different, and you could swap out to a different weapon set, which will change up a lot of things for warriors. Like, you could be DPS and then swap out to tank, and so on. And then you've got these, which are the buffs. Self-explanatory, really. This little bit, which is like your armour, of course, if it's damaged, like mine is because I died, you can go get that repaired quite easily, it's quite cheap. And here is the dodging and evading mechanic. You can only do this like twice consecutively, as you'll see. Yeah. And then you've got to wait for it to recharge, but that recharges as you're moving around, so it's not really a problem. So in combat you don't have to worry, you will be able to do this more than just twice, but you need to remember to keep it, you know, like, sorry, I got a text. You need to keep it, just use it when you need it, don't just pointlessly use it like, herb-a-derp, I'm just starting the fight, I'm going to roll into the boss or anything like that, it's pointless. Keep it for, you know, times when you need it, like there's an AoE you need to roll out of quickly or something like that. That's when you're going to need it, and that's handy even in the normal world, you know, doing events and such. So that's the skill parts of the UI basically, and obviously you got the XP bar down here. That's the next level. That's your current level. I've already explained that little green bit there in a prior video. That's your effective level, and you've got the mini map here, which is obviously a mini map. You know, you can zoom in, zoom out, all the basic stuff. Has all the icons on it. Don't know if you can get rid of those yet though. Don't think you can. Maybe something they'll add in later, I don't know. So that's basically the UI. As for skills, I suppose I've covered those for the most part. They change with the weapon. Let's have a bit of a better look at them though. So as you can see, you get the whole. You don't have to equip the weapon to see what skills you're gonna get. So let's say I went dagger, main hand, and dagger in offhand as well. So I was dual wielding daggers. Then these are the skills I'd get. I don't have them now because I haven't used a dagger in Fire Spec. I haven't dual wielded daggers in Fire Spec, so. But the gist of it is, equip a weapon, or equip both weapons, use the first skill you get, and then eventually you'll start unlocking these skills. And that's fine, you know, it's a good way to progress, and it's a good way to not overwhelm the player with the abilities, because then you get to, you know, find out what each one does in your own time. And then you get a good idea of what they can all do, what the strengths are of the ability, what the weaknesses are, and that's great, because a lot of people will, you know, I suppose this doesn't happen as much in something like World of Warcraft, but where you could just jump straight into PvP in this, you know, you could have no idea what you're doing with any of the skills, but this system helps you learn what each of the skills are for each weapon. Or, you know, if you get the idea and you just want to know what the effects are, so you can choose a weapon, you can just look in here and see what they do. You don't have to have unlocked them to see what they do, if you get what I mean. And this shows all of the weapons your class can use. As you can see, I'm quite handy with the staff at the moment, because I'm not too bothered about the other weapons. I'm an elementalist, I want to use the staff. End story. Maybe a trident at some point, because that's magma orb, that looks kind of cool. I think that's Phoenix. No, Heatwave, okay. But yeah, you get the idea for that. I suppose I'll tell you about the slot skills. Oh no, I already have, haven't I? Okay. Traits. Right, this one's a bit different. I don't think I told you about this one yet. Basically, you get, how to explain this one? You get trait points, and hell if I can remember how. Okay, well basically you get trait points to spend in each of the areas, and Arcana is one of them, or Arcane, whatever you want to call it. That's strange. I don't see why Arcane's one. It's not... whatever, let's see what it does. Achievement bonuses linger... oh, I see, okay. Arcane is an all-round one then, I'm going to guess, as it just kind of helps out all of them. Grant yourself Fury on attunement. Skills have a chance to apply condition on critical... yeah, okay. Arcane is basically just an all-round help out any of them. So, yeah, you get the idea. You put the points into each area, so I'd have to put 5 points before I unlock this part of it, and then 10 points into it to get that part, and so on and so on and so on. And it's the same with each one. You don't have to pick just one. You can put points into any of them. I put 4 into water magic, as you can see, and that increases my healing and my vitality. For earth it would be toughness and condition damage, whatever that is. Air is critical damage and precision, and fire is condition and power. So yeah, power, by the way, works both ways for melee and range. It's just how much damage you do with hits. So yeah, there's quite a lot of variety, really. You know, from this to the slot skills to the weapon skills, you're going to be pretty unique, and that's quite a feat considering how technically locked down the skills are. But you know, you get the variety, and you don't have to worry about how you place everything. It's done for you, which I suppose some people will complain about, but then why? It just makes things easier for you. Why would you not like that? But anyway, yeah, that's mainly the UI. I mean, you got your little quest thing up here, and that sparkles on the mini-map when you hover over it, I suppose, just if you really couldn't see the big green triangle. This is for your party. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. You know, you put the player name in, invite. So I'm going to guess you don't have to be anywhere near them to do that. Or you can create a squad. I can't do that right now. Don't know why. Oh well. And up here is the typical, you know, hero, which is, you know, your characters, equipment, and all that things like skills and traits, blah blah blah. Your inventory. Oh, you get 5 empty bag slots. I was just wondering from previous video. Because you can buy more. You got your contacts. Mail, by the way, no need to be near a mailbox, which is handy. That's good. A change that I'm all too happy to see. I don't care about having to go to town to read my damn mail. Commerce, which you should know all about now. Ooh, oh dear. And the getting menu. Do I really need to talk about that? And file a bug, which won't obviously be in the real game. I don't think it will be anyway. So yeah, that's basically the UI. Oh, sorry, I did miss one thing out. The talking thing here. Well, that's such. Yeah, not intrusive at all. Actually, quite nice in the background. You get quite a few options with it. You can go for the combat log, all that stuff, or you can add your own tab. Nothing extremely new here, you know. It's all basically like other MMOs, so it's just fine. You don't need to change this system. So yeah, it's all good. I think that's all. Yeah. I'm sorry for standing still, not doing much in the video, but there we go. It was about the UI and all those things. Anyway, I hope to get out another video. Maybe I'll do it like this as well for the combat, because that'd be nice for you guys to see properly. Yeah, so yeah, I'll see you next time for the combat.